Hello and welcome to my video, lesson 1.0, sequences and series intro. Alright, so let's take a look here together where we have, we can look at just some introduction ideas here. So arithmetic versus geometric, well, what does that mean? Basically as simple as I can put it, this is adding or subtracting, this is multiplying or dividing. How can you remember that? Well, geometric makes me think of geometry, which we like to solve for area in geometry. So that's length times width. And this is how they used to actually think about multiplication, is that multiplication was area. It's the same thing. Whereas arithmetic is just simply adding and subtracting stuff. So it's more simple per se, but you can also look at this as a exponential function. So maybe exponential, it starts with an E, I don't know. I'm stretching here, but anyways, so hopefully you can remember this is adding and subtracting. So let's just see if we can see the difference between the two. So adding 3 every time, right? Hopefully you can see that. It's adding 3 every time. Whereas this is multiplying by 3. So times by 3 every time. And hopefully you can also see that over the course of 5 terms, there is a significant difference between adding, subtracting versus multiplying and dividing. So hopefully you can see that there's a significant difference here between the two cases. And so just keep those in mind separately. We're going to be starting in the next lesson with arithmetic, as well as just looking at some comparisons down below. But anyways, let's also look at infinite versus finite. Actually, I put it backwards. So let's do that differently. Let's go 1, 2, 3, and let's take away this. There you go. So infinite series, we add the little ... It's not finite, it's infinite. So it has a little ... showing that it goes on forever. Similar to when we put the ... after, like, let's say pi. We're just showing that the number goes on forever. Or 3.33 ... showing that it goes on forever. So that's a similar idea here. Whereas a finite set has just those numbers in there. All right, find the missing number in the sequences below. So here we have 2 different sequences. Let's maybe zoom in a little bit. If you can solve these, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, pause the video, try it out. Otherwise, you can wait and watch for my response. All right, so these 2 first cases are relatively simple. We are going to check to see what happens in between 2 of the numbers. So we add 5, and if we can do that again, so add 5 to get 15, and if we do it again, it does indeed get to 20, and because it does check out, that's our check to see if we got it right. So the answer is 15. Okay, in this case, let's see here, we're adding 4, and then we're adding 8. Oh, that doesn't work. Those are not the same. What about if we multiply by 2? And then if we multiply by 2? All right, so that does work. So what we need to do to go backwards is just to divide by 2. So our answer is 2. And because it works in both cases, we give it a check mark, it's good to go. All right, so here we have, oh, this one got rid of our B. That's annoying. There you go. Here we have one sequence. But what about if it's arithmetic versus geometric? What would the difference be? So it's just making a new question from here. But we can imagine that we would have to have 4 spots that we add the number, right? So what we will have to do is go 64 minus 4 to find the difference between the 2 spots, and then go 60 divided by the 4 times that it has to be added, so that would be 15. So in this case, we're saying we add 15 every time. So if that's the case, then we go, so 4, comma, 19, comma, 34, comma, 49, comma, 64. Yeah, it works out. Okay, so those are our 3 numbers inside here. All right, now let's take a look if it's a geometric series. We're going to have to, instead of adding by 4 every time, we're going to have to multiply by a number. So see if we can figure that out. Basically, we're going to have to think about that kind of like a root. Or we can perhaps even just see it. If we go from 64, let's start in pen mode. 64 divided by 2 is 32. Divided by 2 is 16. Divided by 2 is 8. Divided by 2 is 4. So what are our answers? 32, 16, and 8 would be our 3 answers in between, with 64 and 4 being the 2 outside ones. So we would be multiplying by 2 in this case. All right, so I hope that this video helps you understand sequences and series just a little bit better, what they kind of are. They're patterns that we follow, and yeah, hope this video helps you. Good luck.